I had just turned 17 and had found myself sitting in my LDS bishop's office after having seen this wonderful angel of a therapist at LDS Family Services for several months. And I had finally realized that my sexual orientation was what it was. And I didn't even know where to begin. So I went to the only place where I knew someone would listen, and I wanted that spiritual counseling. And so I had been meeting with my bishop regularly. I had already confided to him that I did identify as gay. And during this meeting, this discussion with him, he had told me that during the previous week that he had been reading this story about Jesus in the scriptures and how he had been traveling throughout the land to perform miracles. And he happened upon this town, and there was this crazy guy, as he put it, in the town. And everyone kept telling Jesus, something's wrong with this guy. You need to do something about it. And so Jesus performed a blessing on this guy and cast out evil spirits into a herd of swine that then ran off a cliff to their death. And then my bishop looked right at me and said, I think you're like that crazy guy, and I want to give you a blessing to cast out the evil spirits that are within you. And I didn't even know that LDS theology included such a thing. And I was pretty shocked and disappointed, and I didn't know what to do about it. It was devastating because you already think that something's wrong with you. And you're just struggling so much, and you place your trust. You place your trust in someone. And they just drop that bomb on you. And he wouldn't say it if he didn't really believe it. And I had just turned 17. And after that point, I had struggled with suicidal thoughts before. But in the months following that conversation, I had gotten so far as to plan how I was going to take my own life. And I really thought I was going to go through with it. There were a few saving graces at the time in my life that prevented me from doing that. And for a long time I was really angry. I was really angry about what had happened to me. And I lost trust in everybody and everything. But as I look back now, that was the moment when I became free. It was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me. I'm surprised I'm here. But I learned a lot of lessons along the way, and that conversation set me down this path of self-acceptance and a search for truth and a curiosity for life outside of the bubble. And if I could go back and talk to myself and teach myself those lessons that I've learned, I would tell myself, it's going to be okay. You've made it through hard things. You'll make it through more hard things. That's just life. And, you have the right to define who you are. You shouldn't allow others to do that for you. And you shouldn't be allowing others to dictate your birthright. I mean, this is your life. I had people try to tell me that I shouldn't identify as gay, that I should identify as struggling with same-sex attraction, that identifying as gay carried certain connotations, and that struggling with same-sex attraction carried other connotations. And I should not try to disturb others by using language that they didn't agree with in identifying myself. And I did that for a while, and that was a mistake. And, that's another thing I would teach myself is it's okay to make mistakes. You don't know all the answers, and you shouldn't. You can't. And if anybody has those expectations of you, they're completely wrong. It's inappropriate. You don't need to know all the answers. If you did, why are you here with the rest of us trying to figure out life? You don't even have to know the answers about your own life or your own feelings. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just sit there and feel. Sit there in the silence and listen to your body, listen to your feelings, listen to what your heart is telling you. And if you do that and make it a habit, you already know the answer. You just have to find it, because the answer is in here. The answer is in your heart. And that's the real journey that you're on. And sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it just really sucks, and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you don't know what's going to happen. And the biggest fear we all have is the unknown. But if you can learn to look at it as an opportunity to get excited about the possibilities and the new people and things and ideas that you will encounter, then that will make it so much more bearable, and you will make it out okay. And lastly, I think the biggest lesson that I would go back and teach myself and the youth of today, gay or straight, religious, not religious, is that nothing can come between you and your relationship with God or whoever or whatever you define as a higher being. People will tell you that they have the authority to do that. People will tell you that they will try to define not only you, but they'll try to define God for you and how He feels and what He thinks and what He wants for you. And they have no authority to do so. Your relationship with God or the higher power that you believe in is yours, and it's yours alone, and it's sacred. And no one can take that away from you. No one can interfere with that. It's literally impossible. And if you know that and you stick to that, it will get you through anything that you encounter in life. And it's been a blessing. And so that conversation that was so devastating when I had just turned 17, I have now turned into one of the best things that could ever happen to me. And that's because I made a choice. And for a while I was angry, and that's okay, because that's part of the process. But you can turn something absolutely awful into something that you never could have imagined. It doesn't have to be, something that happens to you doesn't have to define the rest of your life for you. You have a choice. And I made the choice to just move beyond it. And if anything like that has happened to you, you can make that choice as well. And you will be okay.